Hi everyone, this is your very own Yobo for Christ at Women Empowerment. Hey, to all my kings, to all my queens, oh yes, the king, you are included too. But especially to my girls, listen, don't let nobody make you feel otherwise. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. It doesn't matter what you've been through. It doesn't matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter what life has thrown at you. Hey, it doesn't matter what you yourself, the mess that you created yourself, that you found yourself inside. It doesn't matter how it started, darling. Let's get it straight. We're done feeling guilty. This is 2019, darling. Enough of self-condemnation. You're a queen. And trust me, you deserve another chance. So let's get it straight. Put it up behind you. We're going to do this all over again. And we're going to do it better and wiser this time. Listen, I'm going to talk to you, darling. Sit back. We're going to talk. You know, I love to do this. You understand? I'm going to talk to you about that very thing. That very thing that God is trying to tear apart. Yes, you heard me right. That God himself is trying to tear apart. It's not everything that the enemy wants to destroy. There are some things in our life that God just say, this needs to go. This needs to die. This thing needs to be taken far from you. There are just some things that God is behind it, 100%. That very thing that God wants to take away, that God wants to replace, but you're so addicted to it like cocaine. I want to talk to you about that thing. Which other person than the person of David that we can use to talk about this very thing? When I went back to study the story of David, Absalom, and God help David, Ahithophel, talking about the people that you put around you, the ones that you assign as counselors in your life, the ones that you take instruction from. I'm always on about this matter because it's always the people that you give your ear to talk to. That's the thing that's going to decide where you're going, where you're going to end. So it's about it. So darling, I'm going to discuss with you about the story of Ahithophel. The ones that you don't take time to find out who they really are. You don't take time to dig and to get information about the people. You just put them in different positions in your life. You allow them to occupy places in your life that they're not supposed to occupy. There are some people, excuse me, you have to love them from afar. You can't afford to put them in a position where you put yourself at risk. Do you know I went to find out the meaning of Ahithophel? I was amazed. Because when the Bible talked about him in 2 Samuel, the Bible described him as when he gave counsel, he was like a god, an oracle. His advice was just amazing to King David and Absalom. He was the man. Everybody take his advice because it was like a god was talking. So that was the reason why David made him the right man then. And do you know that Ahithophel is the grandfather of Bathsheba? So is the grandfather, the father-in-law, the grandfather-in-law of David. Yes, that's Ahithophel. You know, the one David prayed, God turned the counsel of Ahithophel to foolishness. How is it that the people that we so trust, the people that are supposed to get our back, when life take its ugly turn, these very people that are supposed to get your back, that's Ahithophel. Go study about him. These very people turn against you. And you still don't see it. You still want to hold on to it because they cannot too dear to you. They are too close to you. Sorry, Yobo for Christ is my name. I'm going to say the way it is. It's not everything you fight for. Sometimes you just need to let go. You just need to understand when God is saying, let go. I'm up to something. I'm doing something. When Absalom turned against the father, the son of David, Ahithophel now took the position that he was feeling in David's life, took that position in Absalom's life. And he was now a counselor to Absalom to work against David. And David prayed a prayer, said, God, oh God, turn the counsel of Ahithophel to foolishness. So he became a counselor. I was giving advice to Absalom, how Absalom is going to defeat the father and bring the father to ruin. Ahithophel gave advice to Absalom. We're going to do it like this, we're going to do it like this. But the Bible said, it said, because God wanted to frustrate and bring an end to Absalom, the son of David. He said, because it was God's intention, because God has already planned it, that I want to bring him to ruin. I want to frustrate him. Because God has already seen the future, that this son is going to chase David out of the throne. This son is going to hurt him. His own blood. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? There are just sometimes, it doesn't matter how dear that thing is to you, darling. Trust me. Many people are going to nail me for this particular topic we're talking about. But I'm going to say it anyway. Because sometimes we hold on to things. People around us, society, the church, our friends, our families. They make us to hold on to things that are killing us, that are choking us until the life out of us just go out. And the people will not say, rest in peace. How you rest in peace, darling? You died feeling like you're all ripped out of each other. So before it gets to that time, you got to sit down and ask, what exactly is God doing with this thing? If God is telling you, remove your hand because he have a plan. It was God's plan to frustrate Absalom, to remove him, to eliminate him before he would become a snare to the father. He chased his father out of the throne. David became a fugitive. And then, do you know what baffles me? Let me go back to the Bible. 2 Samuel 17. You read it. 2 Samuel 17, the whole of 17, the whole of 18, and the whole of 19. You have to read it, so that you don't think I'm just babbling on my own. So 2 Samuel 17 verse 14. It said, Absalom and all the men of Israel said, the advice of Hushai the Archite is better than that of Ahithophel, for the Lord had determined to frustrate the good advice of Ahithophel in order to bring disaster on Absalom. Because God knew, if I leave this guy, if I allow this son to live, it's going to ruin my plan. Because David is his beloved. So whatever becomes a threat to what God has called you to do, whatever becomes a burden, whatever will stand and will not allow you to do that which God has called you to do, God will personally remove that thing himself. It doesn't matter what that thing is. It's you that don't understand what God is doing. So it was God's plan. And then when the whole thing got to David, oh, your son is coming, he already took the advice of Hushai, one, to deceive him so that God will bring to pass what he has said. Do you know what David said? That's where I'm going. David gave the men instruction. They should go out and fight. He was supposed to go with them. They said, no, you don't go, you stay back. He gave them instruction and said, oh, please, you both should be careful with my son, Absalom. Eh? What? Like, seriously? You said what? We should be careful with the thing that just chased you out. With the thing that made you to become a runaway from your throne. Your son that has gathered all your concubines and having sex with them on your house roof. We have to be careful with him. Like, really, Joab, like, yeah, really? Yeah, right. We've heard you, king. He was so keen in protecting his son because it's my son. Please be careful with him. Yeah, you can destroy every other one, but be careful with him. He's the master planner. Hello, duh. Yeah, we should be careful with him. They left. Long story short, Absalom was killed Because it was God's plan. It's not even the soldiers that went out. God has already ordained it that this one, you're going down. Because you are a threat to my beloved. You are a threat to the one that I have called. And I will not let that happen. So what am I going to do? Remove you. When they came back from battle, and they told, I'm trying to just summarize. And they told David, the first thing David asked, how is the boy? Absalom. When he heard that Absalom was killed in the battlefield, he wept. He just didn't want to do nothing. Every other thing, all the victory didn't mean nothing to him. Every other person that came back alive, the victory, he didn't even want to hear the news anymore. He wept. And Joab went to meet him and said, listen, if you don't get your behind out and celebrate this victory that God has given you. So you want to keep the thing that is trying to keep you, that is trying to kill you, sorry. You want to keep that thing. You prefer to hold on to what is killing you and lose the people that love you, the people that just want to fight for you and make sure that you get your behind back to your throne. Or you're weeping over Absalom. You're weeping over the thing that is choking you. You're spending money, you're spending your time, you're spending your energy over that thing that is choking you. You're still trying to paint it white. Yeah, be careful about the boy, Absalom. You're still trying to sugarcoat that thing. And you know that this is killing me. You know that this is not right. This doesn't feel good. It doesn't matter how you want to talk it good. No, it can't be God, darling. It's not every time you just endure some certain things, you just got to take a walk. Some certain things you just have to cut loose and say, till here and not further. You got to know when God is trying to destroy something so that you don't keep trying to hold on to that which God wants to remove so that it will not kill you before you kill that thing or before you achieve God's purpose in your life. And then when the soldier spoke with him, he came out, and the Bible said he came out, he finally got back, so I was like, oh wait, okay, this is so wrong. I should be rejoicing over this victory. They just removed something that has chased me out of my spot, out of my throne, out of my ordained space. And I can finally get back my life. I can finally be king again. I can finally be the person that God has called me to be without struggle, without fight, without having to explain myself, without having to protect and look back at my shoulder. I can finally be that person. It dawned on him. And the Bible said David came back and took his place in the gates. 2 Samuel 19 verse 8. He says, so the king got up and took his seat in the gateway. When the men were told the king is sitting in the gateway, they all came before him. So, by the time he got back himself and came and took his place again and said, I'm taking my life back. Enough of all this. Ahithophel is gone. Absalom is gone. The road is clear. He came back and took his position, and the people came back before him again and honor him as king. Do you know what I discovered about Ahithophel, the meaning of Ahithophel? The one that the Bible said, the advice he gives is that like a God is talking. And the oracle is speaking. People honor him those days. When Ahithophel, when he speaks, that's why that David made him his right man. He's a grandfather. He's a grandfather to Bathsheba, the wife of David. How the very people you love, the very thing that's supposed to protect you, become your very enemy, and the thing that will turn around to choke you. The meaning of Ahithophel. When I went to find out, do you know what I discovered? Ahithophel means tasteless, lacking flavor, weak, thin, unpalatable, lacking vigor or interest, boring, lifeless, lacking charisma, characterless, pathetic, ordinary, uninspiring. I say, But the Bible said the advice he gave those days were like one of a God was talking. And I became curious to want to know more. Do you know what I got in my spirit? People that are weak. People that always want to be heard. People that have little self-esteem inside of them. They are the ones that will come and wear a mask. And come up and stand like this. You would think they are all that. Just to intimidate you. They will showcase what they are not inside. How can David be so wrong to choose somebody that his name mean no character, no life, it's tasteless, non-inspiring? That's the real meaning of his name. It means it was a mask that he was wearing. He was wearing a mask all this while. That wasn't his real self. Do you know why I know? Because when he gave Absalom the advice, do it like this against your father. When Absalom refused to take his advice and took the advice of Cushai, the Bible said Ahithophel went to kill himself. I said, why now? The guy didn't take your advice. What's that big deal? Okay, even if the king was coming to kill you, wait first, let the king come. No, he went to put his house in order and killed himself. Meaning, he's very little inside of him. People that always oppress you, you must do it the way they want it. It's either their way or the highway. The real them is very small. Inside of them, they are little. They have little self-esteem. They have hate for themselves. They don't have love for themselves. They don't have trust in themselves. Life for them is nothing. They just come out and they want to impose themselves on you. You have to do it the way they always know better. They always know what to do. And God help you one time, you don't take their advice. Or their advice is not pleasing to you. Oh, then you see the real them. You got to watch out for those kind of people, darling. In your ministry, in your private life. In every area of your life, you have to watch out for those kind of people. Because it's a kind of witchcraft. Because it's pride that will make him now say, he didn't take my advice. I'm going to kill myself. That he felt ashamed. Because that shame already was something that was inbuilt in him. Because that's the meaning of his name. But this is the same person that David took for years. As his right man that was giving David counsel. He was a faker. He was faking it all this while. Giving David counsel how to rule. And then when he didn't take him too long to turn against David. Just once that they didn't take his advice. He felt ashamed and killed himself. What am I trying to say? Be careful the people you allow into your circle to take certain position in your life. You got to find out who they really are. Before you appoint people, find out, let God speak to you. Who is this person? Let God show you. The Spirit of God can't lie. People can fake it for long. They can fake it to you. They can't fake it to God. Ask God before you get so excited and say, he talks like a spirit. She is all that. Oh my God, she can sing heaven. I always say, don't be deceived by my singing. Better find out who is here before Christ. Yes, because everybody have, trust me. Everybody have something. So you better be very, very careful. If the thing that person is carrying, if it's something you can deal with. Or find out the motive why people do what they do. Because the motive that Ahithophel was stuck with David wasn't a good one. He wanted to have the last say. If I say it, everybody bow to it and do it. If you don't do it, it's a problem. Watch out for those kind of people. Once again, it's witchcraft on its own. I shouldn't always do what you say. If it's not okay by me, I don't do it. Deal with it. Deal with it. Watch out for those folks, darling. Whatever it is that God is trying to remove from your life. Whatever it is, you know it, darling. Let it go. Let it go. Stop holding on to it. There are some things God himself is responsible for. If you know it, allow God to have his way. Because nobody's going to fight with him and win anyway. So before that thing kill you, kill it. Kill it. Allow God to kill that thing before it kills you. Because at the end of the day, you matter, darling. You shouldn't care for everybody and forget yourself and put your whole house, because of one person, put your whole house and entire life at risk. A king chased out of his throne because of one son. Like, really? The whole nation was at risk of one son. He was still saying, be careful with the boy. Be careful with what? Oh, the devil's a bastard. You out of my life. You are so far away from me. If I have to love you from far, so be it. But if you are a threat to that which God has called me into, a threat to my peace, a threat to my children, a threat to my joy, a threat to my stability, if you are a threat to whatever it is that makes me a queen that God has called me to, I'll delete you like you never existed. So it's a choice you have to make for yourself this year. Am I going to let go? Am I going to try to talk it good because he's a friend, she's my sister, he's my brother, he's my dad. I don't care. Give it a name. So they will not say it's you, but for Christ that said. So let me watch my mouth. I'm just telling you. Let's stop faking it. And saying, well, just keep praying. Just keep praying. The Bible said God wanted to frustrate Absalom and bring an end to his madness. His plans to frustrate and kill his own father. The very thing that you try to protect. Those are the very things that have taken contract to kill you. First, because of what Magbewe is setting. If insiders don't kill you, outsiders can't. So watch well. Open your eyes in this 2019. Babe, Oga, whoever you are, if you know that God has given you assignment, and if you know that you want peace for yourself, watch properly. And stop making excuse for that thing that is choking the life out of you. If God said remove your hand, you remove your hand, darling. Let it go. Let it go. One way closed, another way open. If one walk away, God will bring 10. Trust me. Don't try to keep people because you are too afraid to be alone. Or like a pastor, you are afraid to lose members. Listen. One person, 20 people will stay away because of one person from your church. Is that a plus or is it a minus? Wisdom. Is that a plus or is it a minus? You answer it for yourself. You are trying to hold on to one person. But the character of that one person, the ways of that one person, if that person open mouth and talk, will drive away 20 that came in. How are you helping yourself? Hey. Allow God to do whatever he wants to do in your life. Because he knows the end from the beginning. He knows it all. If God is saying, this ends here, it ends. If he's saying, this gotta go, you gotta go. Let him have his way and his will in your life. Before that thing finally kills you. Or ruin the hell out of you. And then you are saying, God don't answer prayer. He has been giving you signs. Remove your hand. Let me do this. Let me fix this. But you are too busy fixing it, darling. You are too busy playing with what you're supposed to eliminate. You are too busy feeding that which you're supposed to starve. And you are starving the very thing you're supposed to feed. Be smart, darling. Choose for yourself in this season. Let them call you selfish. But God knows that you're walking towards the place that he has prepared for you. Whatever must go, must go. Dare to take that decision for yourself in this 2019. Hey girl, don't let nobody fool you. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Don't let nobody make you feel otherwise, darling. You're a queen and you deserve the very best. I love you. See you next time. You're very, very on you for Christ. Bye-bye. Shalom. Mwah.